Services Inc., you have to put that in there, and your username, which is your first initial of your first name and your last name. And the password, which is the default everybody has, is 123456. And when you log in for the first time, you will be asked to change your password. Password's got to have one uppercase, lowercase, and a number in it. And I believe it has eight numbers long, or 8 digits, characters long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to log in. This is Lauren's account. And choose. I have two users that of your account, so I'm going to just show you them up, because depending on who you are, you will actually see something different on the screen, because some users have access to a little bit additional information based on the kind of services they provide for Lauren. So I'm going to use Jamie Burstein's account first. And this is the timesheet entry screen. And if you look on the left-hand side, this is the calendar. The weeks start on a Monday and finish on a Sunday. And you can see it's highlighted in yellow, which is the active week. If you haven't turned your timesheet in on time, this line will turn red. And so you know that's a problem. So red is not a good sign. Okay, it's very simple. This is the default screen you will see. This added time row adds an item to this calendar screen, but I believe you should all have a default screen like this. So it's a project tracking system. So you have a client, a project, and a task for the items that you have to do. And when you're on this screen, okay, you're going to see two projects that you're going to have. Admin, which is time spent doing work for Lauren Academic Services for which are not available to customers. And I'll show you an example of this. If I click on admin, the task that shows up is admin. And the moment you click on that, you'll see it'll default to the customer name of your client name of LAS Inc. Okay, and it's very simple. All you have to do is if you spend 2 hours doing admin work, you'll put in your 2. It'll pop up a comment box. For the people doing scholastic management, you do not use this box unless directed by Lauren, because whatever you put in here will be transferred directly into the billing system and go out on a customer invoice. So be very careful. Unless you're directed to, please do not put any comments in these comment boxes. So if you enter 2 here and maybe you spent another hour here, the system will tell you it's got 3 hours total for this activity during this week or during this timesheet period. If you want to add an additional row, just click here. Okay, and once again, this time we'll choose Scholastic Management. And on the left-hand side, if you look carefully, the people who are, or the clients attached to Scholastic Management are highlighted in red, or in a slightly red background, and they're alphabetically sorted. So I'm just going to choose this person, Noah Baksha. And once again, the task that shows up is Scholastic Management. If you notice, the system now puts in the information. It also changes it automatically to billable, because they have to be billed out, obviously, for the work you provide. And for this person, maybe 1 hour. System knows it's 4 hours. Once you're done with entering your time, click Save. Okay. Screen changes to green and it says Success. Let's assume that those are all the hours you have for this week. So it tells you you've done 4 hours this week. One of them is billable. It's just for information. And then once you're done for the week, you just submit it. Okay. Timesheet will tell you it's waiting on Laura now to approve this timesheet. Okay. And it becomes read-only for you. If you've seen you've made a mistake, up to until such time that Laura has approved this, you can unsubmit it. It will bring it back to you and you can edit it and once again resubmit. If you do that, it's going to ask you why are you doing this, so it can capture the reason for you doing something. I'm just going to say error. But obviously you'd put down something for the reason that you'd had to resubmit that. And once again, it's gone off to Laura for approval. It's as simple as that. Okay. Just as an example for this one, I'm going to go to the week of the 13th now. It remembers the clients that you used from the prior timesheet. Okay. And you can actually use the copy from feature, and you can tell it'll ask you what you want to do. In this example, use most recently saved timesheet. And you can choose override or add or whatever you want to do. And you copy from. It'll actually bring over the hours exactly the same that you had on the prior timesheet. So if you're using the same person week after week and it's the same hours, on the same day, use the copy from it, will pre-fill it all for you. Okay, so that's as simple as it is. On the left-hand side, it will tell you the status of your timesheets. You click on waiting for approval. System says, wait a minute, what do you want to do? You haven't saved this thing. But it's down the page. Let's save this. Okay. Now you can take a look. Waiting for approval. It'll give you the information on the timesheets that are waiting for approval. Those have been approved. Those have been rejected. Whatever it is. Because if you enter a timesheet and Laura decides it's not good or there's an issue, she can reject it and send it back to you to be whatever. Okay, and if you click on the menu, the little blast over there, it'll actually give you the information regarding the timesheet. So you can go back and look at your history of timesheets submitted. It's always going to be online and available to you. Okay, so as I said, for this one, I'm going to unsubmit it again. Okay, to add a row, do that. Elastic Management, choose the client and the task, and it's done. If you decide this is an error, you don't really want to use this person, you just click the minus sign, and it will delete the row for you after confirming. So I think it's very simple. Does anybody have any questions about this at this point in time? No, I didn't think so. I think everybody's quite techy here. You don't even have to be. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch quickly to a different user. And I'm going to switch to Christy Corridon, which is on the call. Right? So the thing about Christy, when she goes to Scholastic Management, she has a sub-category or sub-task called ACT because she provides this kind of service. So, as I said, the menu that you're going to see is based on functionality that you or the services you provide. And if this is not set up correctly, please contact Lauren and we'll get it fixed right away. But I believe that everybody should be configured correctly. So, if you choose this one, you're going to say, not good. You don't really have to choose a client, right? And it's telling you, please choose a client, this person, ACT. And it does not understand or know specifically which client has which kind of service. Everyone is set up as a client, and you as the tutor would have to choose the correct kind of service that you're providing that person. So once again, the same as this one, if you submit this, it's going to Laura, it's waiting, and it's done. But this is a 0-hour one, so it doesn't make sense, but it still accepts it. Okay. So, I can show you adding 3 hours, done, save it, resubmit, once again error, resubmit, and there's the 3 hours and waiting on Laura to do her thing. So, well, that's pretty much what I have for you. Are there any questions? Anything I can answer? Any concerns?